Skype? Skype?
Good Lord. We're a mess.
Dude, you got a bunch of Looney Tunes on your hands.
Welcome to Things I Got Wrong, your general discussion podcast with a healthy dose of law, history, and concern about what's going on and what we've recently asserted as correct very confidently. I'm Rachel Miller.
I'm Stuart Hopkins.
And I'm Ryan Bott.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our talk show today. This is our very 44th episode. Just kidding. We're actually going to do trivia today. And in this episode, I will continue to assert things that are incorrect very confidently, thinking that they're correct.
It's that today easy. Look,
perfect.
If I can give you any guidance, just roll with it. Assume everything you're doing is right and everything will fall into place.
Oh, that's how I live life. On that note, this is our round robin game. So we have 4 rounds of wonderful questions. Every round has a different theme, potentially different style based on whoever wrote it. And that person will explain as we get there. We're going to start with Stu, then to me, and then to Ryan as usual, and have our picks at the end. So Stu, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Alrighty. So I have a round, and the purpose of the round, there's 2 ways to get points, or essentially there's 2 things you have to do to get 2 points. You have to buzz in and you have to name.
Easy.
Right, you just buzz in. That's all you got to do. Okay, so I have a round, and in order to get the full amount of points, you have to buzz in and name the villain as well as the media that it's from, whether that be a book, a video game, series, or a movie. The hint is going to be a description of their primary goals - evil schemes in said media. And you have to tell me the villain as well as the media that they're from.
Nice.
Cool. So buzz in whenever you're ready. And then I need both things, the villain as well as the media that they're from, in order to get the full 2 points. I will give you 1 point if you can only get one of them.
So when you say media, you don't, like you said video game, you wouldn't just say it's a evil villain from a video game. It's evil villain from the property.
Right, exactly. You'd say it's like Dr. Eggman from Sonic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I love that Sonic's become a cornerstone of this show.
I know, right? I haven't seen it yet, but I am really glad to hear that it's the best profit one. Alrighty, question number 1. Using alchemy, a woman dethrones a king, but is thwarted and turned into a kitten.
Rachel.
Into a kitten?
Rachel.
Yzma from Emperor's New Groove.
That's correct.
Oh.
2 points to Rachel.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I love Emperor's New Groove. All right, nice. 2 points to Rachel. Question number 2. A jealous uncle kidnaps and attempts to murder his nephew in order to take over the family business.
This sounds like every Italian mob movie.
This one is it is a little tough. I'll give you that. It's probably one of the hardest ones of the round.
An uncle and his nephew. This is the part of this. I never pay that much attention to who the characters actually are.
Yeah. A jealous uncle kidnaps and attempts to murder his nephew. I guess I should say his baby nephew in order to take over the family business.
Wait.
No, it is not Harry Potter. A jealous uncle kidnaps and attempts to murder his baby nephew in order to take over the family business. Ryan.
Is this Casper?
It's not Casper, no.
I think this is the plot of Casper.
It might be. I mean,
I remember the three bad ghouls, Stinky and whatever their names are all the uncles of Casper.
I did look at Casper to be a potential contender for this, but it's not Casper.
Fair enough.
It is. Well, Rachel, do you have any guesses?
I was thinking about Sword in the Stone.
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan.
But,
this would be very metaphorical, but is it the Lion King?
It is not the Lion King, no. Oh! But it's close to the Lion King, though. It feels like it. It's not Sword in the Stone. It is Hades from Hercules.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah,
that's true.
Tell me that.
Is that in movies?
Tell me that Lion King isn't that exact plot.
I know. I should have given you Lion King too, because it pretty much is, but he doesn't kidnap
takes over the family business.
Right. No points on that round. And question number 3. The ghost of a murdered man is hellbent on getting his jewelry back.
Ghost of a murdered man.
Or I guess the spirit. Rachel.
Rachel?
Yeah,
Is this Sauron from the Lord of the Rings?
it is.
Ah!
I know he's not a ghost, but I felt like that was the most accurate way to portray that.
This is my favorite round we've done in trivia so far, FYI.
Thank you. It's 2 points to Rachel. Question
Ye
number
old
4.
family jewels.
Question number 4. A woman who's jealous of a girl that's cuter than her decides to put her into a coma.
Rachel.
Jesus.
Rachel.
It's the queen from Snow White.
Not quite, no.
Oh.
Ryan.
Sleeping
Sleeping Beauty.
That's the movie.
Artemis.
Nope.
All right. I only got that because of Rachel too. So
That's true. Yeah, she ruled out Snow White, so.
Except I totally forgot that she wasn't trying to put her in a coma. She was trying to kill her.
I mean, she was, but she puts the curse on her, though, and then, yeah, I mean, the fairies prevent it from whatever. I mean, it's close enough. If you did the remake, she just puts her into a coma.
Fair enough.
Question number 5. This dastardly trio tries to protect the world from devastation and unite all people within their nation by stealing animals from children.
Ryan. This is Team Rocket and Pokemon.
It is.
Nice.
I like protect the world or unite the nation.
I wasn't sure.
Clued me off.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure that anybody would like recognize that phrase, but I wasn't sure entirely. And so I just kind of threw them both in there.
Right.
They also specify in the universe too that like people eat some Pokemon. Like,
Fair enough.
so
All I'm saying
I
is
mean-
that their digital healthcare is amazing. I don't think I
We should-
realized until
It's
watching
be-
Detective Pikachu that they like digitize and just their data is in the Pokeballs.
yeah.
It's like that's cool.
So I
I
guess
transferred a
once you
bunch of Pokemon back in the day, but that never really like dawned on me.
Cool. 2 points to Ryan for that. And the final question of the round, question number 6. A self-titled king decides he wants a queen, and the only way to get one is to steal her directly from a blue-collar working man.
That's amazing. Wait, say what was it again?
A self-titled king decides he wants a queen, and the only way to get one is to steal her directly from a blue-collar working man.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, it's my turn. So, nobody else knows this, and I'm about to share a shameful secret with the world. But Ryan and I have been ordering and eating every few days, not sharing size, not family size, but party size peanut M&M bags. And for the record, I believe each one of those bags is 3 to 4 pounds.
They're not 4 pounds. They're like 20
Is this-
ounces.
wait,
No, they are not 20 ounces.
Family size.
I
peanut,
have, let me,
Either way, it is a lot of peanut M&Ms.
38 ounce.
At least they're the peanut ones. Like, there's
Yeah.
there's something
There's
in there.
protein in there, right?
Right. It's half healthy fats.
Right. So it's 2 1/3-ish pounds.
It's still a lot
Two.
of M&Ms. So suffice to say, we've been having a lovely quarantine.
Hey, man, no judgment.
So on that note, I decided to look up what some of the other popular desserts are around the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you either what's in the dessert, how it's prepared, or something about like the ingredients, because I know all 3 of you like to cook.
Yes.
Yes.
And then
This
I'm
is
going to tell
awesome.
you where it's from or where people think it's from.
Okay.
Because I'm not about to get the hash out because I know some of these are fought over with several countries. And then you're going to tell me what the dessert is. Okay, you guys ready for this? Question number 1. This is a confection prepared by slowly heating sweetened milk to create a product that derives its taste from the
Ryan.
caramelization. Ryan, go ahead.
Flan?
That is correct.
That's what I was going to say, and I
That's what I was
talked
gonna
myself out of it.
Okay, question number 2. This is a meringue dessert with a crisp crust and a soft light. Go ahead, Stu.
Macaroons.
That is not correct.
I was
This is,
so excited.
Okay. It is usually topped with fruit and whipped cream. This dish is usually credited with origins in Australia and New Zealand.
Whipped meringue?
It's a meringue dessert with a crisp crust and a soft light inside, usually topped with fruit and whipped cream.
Ryan,
go ahead.
I know this isn't right, but I'm just going to say baked Alaska.
No. Baked Alaska
No.
requires being lit on fire and it has ice cream.
It has ice cream, yeah.
So it's better by lighting it on fire.
Gosh,
How
that
can
sounds
we
like
have
the most
fire
American
and
thing
ice
ever.
cream together?
Okay, this is a pavlova.
Okay. I've heard of that, but I don't think I've ever actually seen one.
I heard the bell
very
ring.
popular. It's a very maybe it does exist, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? If your meringue is all cracked, then you're doing something wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I should have cared to know.
Oh my god.
I think the joke went over my head.
Yeah, I've missed it too.
You did like the one liner that you said it's like a Pavlovian or whatever, and then Ryan was like, I heard the bell ring. Pavlov's dog. It
I
just
see.
And it serves
Pavlov's
stew
cake.
crack up. Which is like my number 3 goal in life is just to
Yeah.
make stew.
you like I just wasn't expecting it at all, and it got me so good. Sorry to interrupt the show,
Your
Rachel.
guys are great. We're here to have a good time. And
Oh
we
my
are
God.
having a good
Day
time.
6.
You finally snapped.
Okay. So no points on that question, but question number 3 is an oblong pastry made with choux dough filled with cream
Ryan.
and topped with
Almost-
icing. Go ahead, Ryan.
Eclair?
That is correct. Fun fact, the name does change with the type of icing, but I don't
Does
know
it-
the other ones as well.
Oh,
Oh, I
really?
was gonna say, does it really?
Yep.
I did not
So
know that.
Eclair requires it has a chocolate icing. It has a different name. It has caramel or a different kind, but those are all
Oh,
like very
wow.
specific names, and I don't really know them, so I kind of, and they're all French, so I didn't want to make that unduly difficult. Ryan, you get 2 points there.
Thank you.
Question number 4. The tradition of this food dates back to ancient Rome, although the practice of frying food actually goes back much further. And other cultures have also adopted their own methods to make this food. This term can be applied to 2 varieties, depending on the type of pastry. In the United States, this particular pastry is generally associated with one southern city.
Ryan.
But despite how it sounds, because of its name, the earliest confirmed existence of this pastry comes from the Italian peninsula. Ryan,
beignet.
that is correct.
What is that?
It is
like a
essentially
donut.
like a French puffy donut, and it's
Yeah,
topped
it's really
with
hard to
powdered
describe.
sugar.
Ooh,
And
But it
they're
is Italian.
delicious.
that sounds amazing.
It is Italian. It goes back, and they believe it actually might even go back to ancient Greece.
Nice. You said ancient Greece, and I was just like, grapes?
Grapes.
Nice job, Ryan. 2 points to you there. Question number 5. This is a Japanese dumpling, and is which is sweet and made from mochiko, which is rice flour,
Ryan.
added to mochi. It is often served with green tea. Ryan, I did hear you first.
I was going to say mochi.
Yeah, I was gonna say mochi too.
Okay. Wow. Okay. It is related to mochi. It can sometimes look kind of like it, but it is not mochi. It's often served with green tea. And I guarantee those of
No.
you who watch Japanese shows have heard it.
I don't have it.
Okay. This is a dango.
Oh,
I don't know quite how to pronounce it correctly, but
yeah.
it's dango. It's like mochi on a stick with like a sauce.
Yeah.
But
Isn't it a street food? Or
yes,
no?
it's a street food, a very popular street food, from my understanding.
Yeah.
If we have Japanese listeners that want to correct me, please do. So no points there. And then for our last and from my very American and scrutinizing point of view, the strangest one. This particular thing is a sliced white bread with butter or margarine and covered with sprinkles, which is usually served for children in
Stu?
Australia and New Zealand. Stu, go ahead.
Well, I mean, the name
Yeah.
differs. Is this like fairy toast?
I'll give you that. The name I have is fairy bread,
Oh, fairy bread. Okay.
and I refuse to say whether what my sources say are Australia or New Zealand because it's my understanding that there's a argument about where it's from. But yes, it is just white bread with butter, margarine, and sprinkles on it. It's the upside down thing.
My kids freaking love sprinkles. So they have sprinkles on their oatmeal. They also will have Eggo waffles with whipped cream on top and sprinkles. Like that's like a pretty good treat for them. Dash breakfast sometimes. And there's even times that they will literally just like walk up, get like a cup or like a little bowl, and then ask me for just straight up sprinkles and just go eat them on the couch.
This sounds like a very Stu thing.
I mean, it's adorable. We also have like 8 different kinds of sprinkles because you never know what kind they're going to want.
Nice job, Stu. 2 points to you there.
Thanks.
While I'm hosting the show, one of the responsibilities I refuse to take on is that of scorekeeping. So at halftime, Ryan, where are our scores at?
I have the scores at Stu with 2 points with 1 foot out of the fort. One fairy toast holding foot out of the fort. Rachel with 4 and myself with 7.
I had it prepared by an Australian for me, like the way that they do it, and it's still it was really salty. That's what I remember. Like,
what
even
does it taste like?
I just remember it being really salty.
MSG.
Like even like.
Sorry.
On top of like even being like very spread out. Like I remember it just being extremely salty.
There it is. Well, I'll bring our favorite toast to the party, to the potluck.
Yes.
All right. I have a round. This is a round I'm very excited about. It took me forever to write, mostly because I went on super deep dives on all of these. But this is a really cool round. It is famous speeches.
Ooh. Oh my God.
So,
I love this.
I'm going to give you a question with a little bit of a speech as well as some description of the person. On all of these, I just need the person.
Are these real speeches or like movies and stuff too?
They're all real.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
And yeah, this is a really fun round. A little more serious than normal, but really, really cool. So I'll give you the description. I think almost all of them include parts of the speech itself and then a little bit of a descriptor. And like I said, I just need the person. So question number 1. Also, these are all a little bit long. We're not talking novels, just a couple sentences. Question number 1. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. Also, I'm gonna stop here and say all of these are long enough to basically give you the answer by the end. So this is probably more of a speed thing than not, but we'll see. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. Was said by what man during a time of great inflection, literally 7 years ago from when the Declaration of Independence was first adopted. 20 years, baby.
It's also the end lyrics to the song Believe by Yellow Card.
Really?
Yes. Which is what rang in my head for a second.
It was not the lead singer of Yellow Card, whatever his name is. Yeah, 2 points there. Gettysburg Address is really short. It's like 270 something words.
Huh.
Really good. Yeah. During a time of great inflection. Question number 2. So here I stand, one girl among many, was said by what student, now activist, before the UN? Here I stand, one girl among many, was said by what student, now activist, before the UN Youth Assembly in 2013 to protect children from militant brutality and to support education for girls across the world? This would be Malala Yousafzai. This is actually this was almost my pick. If I was going to do a pick this game, was just this speech. It is very, very good. And like, I was like tearing up just reading it. It is really good. But that is Malala Yousafzai. Question number 2. It is an ideal I hope to live for and to achieve, but if need be, it is an ideal in which I am prepared to die. Was said during what man's trial instead of testifying before serving 27 years of what would be a lifetime
Rachel.
imprisonment. Rachel.
This is Nelson Mandela.
Yes, it is. Nice job. Was said during what man's trial instead of testifying before serving 27 years of what would be a lifetime imprisonment, only being released after the abolishment of apartheid. That would be Nelson Mandela. 2 points to Rachel there. Question number 4. This one may be the hardest one of the round. We'll see. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, then these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. Was the famous 1851 speech of what woman? Rachel.
Susan B. Anthony?
Not Susan B. Anthony. It was a famous 1851 speech of what woman fighting that one doesn't need to choose between the women's movement and the abolitionist movement. 1851. Any guesses?
I have a second guess, but I'll wait.
Go ahead, Rach.
Harriet Tubman?
Not Harriet Tubman. You're on the right track. It is, the speech is Ain't I a Woman, and is from Sojourner Truth.
Oh.
Sojourner Truth. Gained freedom out of slavery and became a women's activist as well, as a one during the abolitionist movement. Is a completely improvised speech and is actually really entertaining to read. A good one as well. No points there. Question number 5. In what was considered a serious breach of diplomatic protocol, what world president arrived in Quebec during the 1967 Expo and World Fair and proclaimed in his speech, Vive la Québec libre, or translated, Live long and free Quebec?
During a world fair?
Oh, I know what it is.
What was considered a serious breach of diplomatic protocol at the time? What world president arrived in Quebec during the 1967 Expo and World Fair and proclaimed in his speech, Vive la Québec libre, or translated, Live long the free Quebec?
How are you spelling libre?
This is in French.
It is in French. Okay, this is President Charles de Gaulle, I think.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Sorry,
I couldn't tell if I was seeking Spanish or French. It's libre.
I'm sorry. As if anything worse than my normal accents is my French accent. But I tried to do what I could. I listened for the correct pronunciation. This was entirely in French, with the title of the speech being "Vive la Québec libre."
For the record, at this point in time, there was a lot of violence going on in Quebec, looking for independence. So.
Independence, and against Canada's much more
anti-French.
Can't think of the word. More kind of a utilitarian a little bit. But this would be Charles de Gaulle, obviously French-speaking world president, later airport namesake.
That's what I strive to be in my life. Airport namesake.
Yep, nice job. That is 2 points to Rachel there. How would you say "Vive la Québec libre"? Libre.
So it basically means long live free, independent Quebec. That's really what the
right. Say it in French.
Vivre la Québec or le Québec libre. It depends on how it was written. I don't quite know based on your pronunciation.
I tried my best. When it's normally things I got wrong in the French pronunciation.
Right.
I try my best. I absolutely loved when we were in France. I tried my very best. Je voudrais un crêpe, un Nutella, un croissant, un deux croissants, un trois croissants.
Okay, so you just said I would like a crepe, a Nutella, a 1-2 croissant.
No.
C'est tout.
That's all.
Merci.
Thank you.
I got this.
No, you don't, but you're doing your best.
I am doing my best. All right, 2 points to Rachel on that one. Question number 6, last question of the game. On the morning of Bill Clinton's inauguration in 1993, which poet who read her poem on the pulse of
Rachel.
morning?
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou is correct. Read her poem on the pulse of morning, shared themes of hope, courage, and unity, and became the first woman as well as the first African American to read a poem at the presidential inauguration. That would be Maya Angelou. Nice job. Which first started with JFK with Robert Frost, who apparently read a poem from memory because the one he had written on his paper in front of him was blinded by the snow and the sunlight to where he couldn't read it in front of him. So he just read the other one he had memorized. Interesting.
Oh.
Nice job.
Something I remember from high school quiz bowl stuff is if it's ever American poet, it's probably Frost. That is your Kareem of American poet. Also, On the Pulse of Morning is a good one as well to read. I spent a lot of time reading speeches and looking at all the insight about them. It was very, very good. But yeah, that's the end of my round.
And that is the end of the game. Ryan, where are our scores at?
All right, the final scores, if I have everything tallied up correctly, I have Stu with 2, again holding 1 fairy bread, myself with 12, and Rachel with 21 points.
Whoa.
I wish we were live streaming this because for the record, this is like the first game that I've won in probably more than 6 months. Probably longer than that. I'm replacing all this sugar that in my Starbucks drinks with actual just straight sugar.
Right.
Gardetto's Cane's coffee pretty much sums me up.
Well, nice job, everyone. This was a wonderful game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Congrats, Rachel.
Wonderful.
Yeah, way to
big time on those.
Right.
You guys hit on some of my better some of my areas of strength, which are nature and history. Once you guys get into like what's going on with like video games and sports or TV or anything, and I'm like, okay, well, I will just see myself out. And this week, we, as with every week, we have a few picks. These are games, these are movies, these are YouTube channels that we like, that we're enjoying, we want to share with you. We want our listeners to be able to take advantage and get to experience some of the great things we like. So, Stu, do you have a pick this week?
I do, yeah. So my pick is a YouTube channel called Game Maker's Toolkit. It is it's a channel that talks about and breaks down. Essentially, it's mostly video games, but it's kind of universal in what he talks about. So it could be anything from how games handle and adapt to accessibility for people, and the proper ways to do it, and like what his studies have found, and good examples of games and bad examples of games, all the way down to, you know, potentially designing levels and, you know, enemy design or encounter design, you know, or story design. It really is breaking down the fundamentals of games and what makes games good in one way or another. And it's presented in a beautiful format. He's very good at what he does. And it's insightful. It's useful from, you know, a user experience perspective. It's insightful from a game master or dungeon master's perspective, or, you know, if you're a video game dev, doesn't matter. It's also just fascinating to me too. The way he presents all the information and such. It's very insightful.
That sounds really cool. I know Ryan and I say we play it through. Ryan plays it through and I watch. We've been playing through all of the Uncharted, and we've been really enjoying the, because a few years ago we played through Uncharted 4, but now we're back. He's got all of them now. We've worked it back up to 3. And just seeing like the level design, so all the imagination and the intricacy that goes into that is very interesting.
Yeah. It absolutely is. And I mean, he's referenced Uncharted a couple of times in his level design and such.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you brought that up, and I think I've said before that, you know, when we're playing through it, like there are certain cues that you know to gravitate towards, and that's not in every game. And actually, one of these videos is why Nathan Drake doesn't need a compass, and it talks about these things are very, very, like, this is a cool one. I've watched a handful of these. They're very technical. It's not just like the background of Mario. It's like, what is level design and how does it move you through? And, I remember on this video specifically, one of the rooftop levels of Uncharted where you're running through the roof and nothing is telling you where to go, but you know to go right, and you know when it's time to jump across, and you know when you're supposed to do something that almost doesn't make sense. And it really breaks down all that stuff, like how enemies move towards you in a certain direction to like move you generally across. And like Uncharted is like well known for like everything you need to grab or jump onto is yellow or gold. So it's like, to do that. But then there's also these little things, like one board will not even like obviously like this is the ramp to jump off of, but it's like a board will help guide you in a certain direction, and how to do that instinctually to where it feels cinematic. And one of these other ones I remember watching was how games get balanced, and it's a whole 15-minute video just about like the tweaks of like a meta within like fighting games and different stuff. These are really, really cool, like very like deep dives into things.
They're definitely deep dives. I think his latest one was a breakdown of a single encounter in Doom and why it was so good in terms of like setting a certain pace and tone for the whole thing, and also remaining balanced. You're absolutely right when they're super technical, but even just watching that video sparked several ideas for me on how I'm going to now run my new D&D encounters and such.
Nice.
Like it, if you do anything that, I don't know, I guess just has user experience, or you're thinking of others as a dungeon master or a level designer, or how somebody's going to interact with something, I thoroughly encourage you to watch his stuff. He's even made mention in some of his live streams or something that literally game companies will watch his videos to be better. Like the office will have a meeting and they'll watch his videos and then talk about it and implement some stuff that he talks about. Or if he talks about their game, then it's a huge celebration for them, because that means that they did something right normally.
If he listens to our podcast, I have a question for the creators of Uncharted. A very important pressing question now that I've seen all 4 games. Why is it that Nathan Drake can leap 30 plus feet, but can't jump 6 inches in the air? Important questions. I know it's also because you have to stay contained in the area, but from logic perspective, I need to know.
It's the same reason Link can do side hops and, side flips and back flips, but he can't just, jump.
It is kind of amazing when it's on like a flat surface and the Drake character looks like a platypus. Just like, but then it's like, I should not be able to jump off of an entire chasm, but that's where the pipe is. So I'm going to go for it. 40 feet out.
Nailed it. Right. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Stuart. Definitely check that out.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the Game Maker's Toolkit, and it's a YouTube channel. Check it out and let us know if you watch any of it, because it's very insightful.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for a wonderful episode, and I'll see you guys back soon, as will everybody else, and have a great evening.
Goodbye.